Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music. The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com. This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
They say things are bigger in Texas. Well, Texas Cowboy Dust delivers big flavors every time. A flavorful blend of onion, Himalayan pink salt, dried shiitake mushrooms, and other ingredients that pair marvelously with steak, other red meats, and just about anything else you can cook. This versatile blend is all you need.
Q Time is a classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. You can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless. Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of you.
Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music. The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. high quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com. This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
What's up? What's up? What's up, fam? Look at what y'all made me do. I got a notepad for y'all, cause y'all don't be acting right. So, check this out. It's the 9th of November. Got the bow tie going. Let me put my accessories up. Y'all don't need to see all of that. Doing what I do. Welcome to Random Thoughts. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. Give my educated look on. And I'm here with my JBN and the infamous Roy Mitchell Evans. We doing big things for the 2022. So how y'all doing today? Like I say, it's the 9th of February, 2022. Hopefully y'all seen the video about the party bus, because that's what we're gonna talk about a little bit later on today. Since y'all keep asking for Trina Marie to join me to make the show look a little bit purtier, she's going to join me a little bit later. Roy, say something right quick. Let me see if I can hear you. And I don't hear you. All right, I had my headset in, and I don't want to get my headset going on. All right, here we go with monologue. You know, as we talk about, the title of this show is To Village or Not. So as we talk about how we can get better, what we can do better, how we can come together, knowing that nowhere in history has one group of people ever totally united. So we kind of need to drop that whole mentality. Do the best you can with what you got. It's never going to be 100% behind it. It's never happened in history, and I don't see it the first time coming. The only time that happens if it's just one person. Other than that, you got people with different thoughts, different processes, and there is nothing wrong with that. One of the things I always like to tell people is remember the golden rule. As long as we're striving to get to the top, it don't really matter whose path we follow. Everybody just needs to be trying to make us better. But in theory, it seems like there's always some jealousy about who's in control and how they got to be in control and who did this and who did that. And that's that mindset we gotta let go of. You know, who's in charge? Who decided this? Who decided that? Who speaks for black people? Who speaks for these people? Well, we can't all speak for ourselves. Sometimes when we're speaking for ourselves, we run across like minds, and we can share the same thought process. But we don't need somebody to speak. Some of us don't need anybody to speak for us. We're well spoken. Other people, they do. Other people. And, you know, I hate to call them sheep because they're not sheep. They're just soft-spoken. They have a voice. It's just not as loud as others. As I'm watching people with their different convictions yelling and screaming at people who don't think like them, to me it's saddening. And the first thing they always want to say is that's why black people can't get nowhere, because we can't stick together. Well, maybe your plan ain't worth following. Maybe one of the problems with black people is that we too often blindly follow somebody into the abyss because we're sticking together because we skin folk. Well, if you're playing so, why should I follow you? Just because you claim to be something and, oh, my way is wrong and only your way is right. That kind of thinking is what sets us back and what keeps us from having a prospering village and doing awesome thing with our kids, because we're too focused on the BS. We're too focused on who's in charge, who's doing this. Everybody want to be a fake leader for some unknown reason. And it seems to be a pervasive thought that everybody wants this. I want to be in charge. Follow me. My way is the right way. If you don't do it this way, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. And you're a dummy. How did we get to that mentality? Where did it even come from? And why is it so pervasive? We got to stop that madness. So as we're there and we're doing things individually and collectively, find people who got like minds. Get with those people. And even when you do, realize one of the most important things is that you are still not always going to agree with each other. And guess what? It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. Is that a phone I hear ringing? Roy, tell me something, because I just heard a phone. I don't know if I was supposed to or not. That was kind of weird. So yeah, as we're doing this, what is it? Let's stop trying to shame everybody into submission, into following us blindly, because that's what makes us feel better about ourselves. As we build this village, let's take a little something from everybody, as long as we're being productive, as long as we're moving, as long as we're moving forward. And if we have a setback, there's no need to sit back and throw shame, blame, and all the other stuff. Adapt and overcome and keep moving. So we gotta stop with the destruction. And when we talk about destruction, I see things, I read things. People ask me questions all the time, and sometimes I got an opinion, sometimes I don't. But this is Facebook. Anything you put on Facebook, anything that you put on Facebook, anything you put on Facebook is open to interpretation and for somebody to speak on it. You can put up all the disclaimers you want to. If you don't agree with me, pass it by. I might not agree with you telling me to pass it by. I might have something to say. And, it's amazing how many people who claim to be enlightened, woke, smart, better than you, and all this, if you disagree with their point of view, they don't want to talk to you no more. Now, I'm a big fan of skipping posts over. If what you got to say ain't got nothing to do with it, or if somebody has a specific question about an experience, if I put up a thing asking, for some fried chicken recipes, what's the point in telling me you like meatballs? What's the point in telling me what's in chicken? Stick to the thing. Fried chicken recipes. See, that kind of just jumping in and trying to change the whole narrative, to me, that makes no sense. Now, if I'm speaking on the greatness of something, if you have something relevant to that, speak on it. But don't try to change the narrative of my post just because you don't have an audience. If I'm going to, let's just say me and Trina going to Vegas for the weekend, telling me what you did in California or why I should go to California versus Vegas. Hey, If I say we're going to Vegas, that means the tickets is already bought. So us going somewhere else, you can say, hey, maybe, I had a good time here. You guys should try this on your next trip. But, it's bringing some of the other stuff in that has nothing to do with nothing. But then if I say something out of pocket, you should, by all means, feel free to check me on what it is I'm saying. If what I'm saying is factually incorrect. Not if you don't like it. If it's factually incorrect. We've gotten so far into this cancel culture thing that we believe in freedom of speech when somebody says something that we like. And if they say something we don't like, then we find all kind of things wrong with it. And again, freedom of speech is what it is. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. So you still got to be careful what you say. But just because somebody don't like what you say does not automatically make them a hater. Maybe they got a reason. But you don't want to hear the reason because their reason is some theory, some conspiracy that you done bought into and that you're going to put everybody up under simply because they disagree with you. See, let me give the best example I can give. There are lots of theories about this COVID-19, the coronavirus, the mask, and all of this. And we all got sources that we can use to get these facts, to get our information from. And I look at them, and people say who they got their facts from, but they won't post them. Or when they do post them, you telling me a dentist gave you some information about COVID. I ain't knocking your dentist, but he's a dentist. You know who does vaccines and comes up with things like that? Scientists, not doctors. Doctors push whatever the reps tell them to. So I will listen to a doctor, but most of what the doctor does is tell you what he read. And sometimes if you're lucky, they can tell you what they've seen in their patients. But if they can't tell you that, then how are you taking their advice over anything? But do what you do. And if you get your medical advice from an eye doctor or a nose doctor or a foot doctor, do your thing. But don't sit back and try to berate somebody else for doing something else, doing something different, picking something different because it ain't what you believe in, and you'd rather try to hold them hostage and berate them for whatever reason. It's insanity, but it's what we like to do, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons that we don't stick together, because we don't want to hear other people's opinion. We don't like anything that other people say, and it's just so much easier. It's easier, as I talk all the time about accountability and responsibility. The easiest thing to do is to find fault with something or somebody else versus doing the work. Who does that? Nobody wants to do that part. We just all want to just jump to it and be that guy. We all just want to jump in and be heard and have nobody tell us what's right or what's wrong. It's insanity. But we do it. We do it anyway. Why is that? So just stop. Just stop. That's all I'm saying. And then bring your information in with my information and let's get there. So that was my first monologue, because I got a couple of things I want to talk about, but we're going to take a quick little commercial break, and we'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes, if that's okay with you, Mr. Super Producer.
Yeah, man.
They say things are bigger in Texas. Well, Texas Cowboy Dust delivers big flavors every time. A flavorful blend of onion, Himalayan pink salt, dried shiitake mushrooms, and other ingredients that pair marvelously with steak, other red meats, and just about anything else you can cook. This versatile blend is all you need.
Q Time is a classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. You can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless. Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music. The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
What's up? We back. So let's talk about this village. And let's talk about what we do. I believe that most parents have the right to raise their kids the way they want to, as long as it's not harmful to the community, to the children, yada yada yada. And as we get into this topic about to village or not, because I am a believer in the village. I've done my part. You know, there's sometimes I've been good at it. Sometimes I probably ain't been as good as we need to be. Because, you know, with discernment, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And as you age, and I'm old, sometimes you become so focused on trying to keep your family safe and secure, you don't do as much outside as you should. But I try to stay focused and not get too locked in where I'm remiss on something. But anyway, I just want to know, and I know Roy's just doing his thing in the background, but I wanna speak to another father right quick, Russ. I want you to just unmute your mic for a second as we wait on Trina Marie. Because my first basic question is, all of us have had kids, so and this is gonna be
I'm here.
When your child gets an invite to a birthday party, realistically, if it's somebody who you know that's a friend of his, and we're gonna just say he's 8 because that's what the video is talking about. So we're gonna say the average third grader. So if he come home and say, "Dad, my friend is having a birthday party this weekend. Can I go?" And then the next day or two, you get a note from his mom or his parents or whatever saying, "Hey, I'm throwing my son a birthday party. This is my address. You can drop him off. We're gonna be here at the house. It's gonna take about 2-3 hours. What? And you ain't heard nothing bad about him. You may have even met him. What kind of research do you actually do before you let your child go to this party? Well, let me ask you right quick because I know you're here.
Oh no, I'm finding out who the mama and daddy is before I let them go to anybody's house. You just I
And
just
you find that you don't know a whole lot about him, but
Yeah, nah, and I'm probably going if they got if they have mutual friends, like I'm the parent that usually just stay at the party.
So you the parent who don't mind being a chaperone too.
Not at all, because I need to know what's
Okay,
going
so
on. Because if I need to take mine, I'm gonna take them.
okay. Well, let me throw a little kink in there to get you out the party. You got a show to do, so this actually gives you time to do your show, and you don't have to watch your kid.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna be the case.
So,
If it's put it this way, somebody again, if I'm not that familiar with the people, somebody from my side of the fence gonna have to be at the party. We gonna have to know if the kid just really wants to go, and we not sure what these people are gonna do. Yeah,
yeah,
somebody
because
gonna
we're
be there
gonna
for
make
the first one.
this one of his best friends. You hear him talking all the time. Little Johnny, they do this together. They play kickball together. It's his classmate. They do projects together. How do you go about vetting them?
Well, we done already. If they spending that much time together, we done already talked to the parents. At least I
Okay,
have.
and that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I done talked
So
to them.
then, how
Yeah,
do
we
you?
done.
Yeah,
We
y'all done
done.
had conversation. They not total strangers.
Yeah, we got over there. I mean, so we kind of know what they are. We gonna schedule a play date so that they can, so that we can actually sit and talk and find out, where their heads are at, what kind of stuff they into. You know, I mean
Okay,
that's
Trent Marie, did you hear the question?
You said something about your kid wants
Let,
to
let,
go to a birthday
we'll,
party or something.
we'll use Zuri. Arch is having a
Mhm.
birthday party. We don't heard Arch's name 1,000 times. Uh, let's just say we've been to a PTA meeting, we've seen his mom or whatever, and his mom sends a note home the next day saying, "Hey, Arch is having his 8th birthday party. We'd like for Zuri to come. It's going to be about 2 hours. You can just drop them. You can just drop her off and come back and pick her up. We're going to be here at the house." How do you vet? How do we honestly vet before we let our kids go to parties? Because I know what we did back in my day. So I just want to hear what you and Roy got to say.
I'm trying to think because like my daughter really didn't go nowhere. Like Janai, she really didn't go nowhere. I just did never was comfortable with leaving her with people. There was only one family that I would let her go and me not ask a bunch of questions. But I knew the mom. We had known each other for years, but like we live right across the street from each other. So, we got to see each other all the time. Her kids came to my house and back and forth and I saw how her kids were behaved. I think that's one of the ways we also judge people's parenting by how their kids behave. So like if her friends, yeah, just hearing about Archie, I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. I need to know Archie. I need to know Archie mama. Not really good, but I
I
need
thought
to
it was, I
have
thought it
met
was
them.
Archer.
Whoever, I don't know, Archie, Archer, whatever. I'm pretty sure they call him Archie for short. But yeah, I would even need to be around the little kid because I need to see what kind of mannerisms he got. What kind of stuff he doing? Is he saying crazy things? Is he talking all ratchet and stuff? So I need to be around this kid.
Okay, so and see, I know what was required before I went to a party. And like I said, I'm not thinking all those one in the room because I've asked a couple people, how do you vet where your kids go? Because yeah, we do the general thing, but unlike Roy, how many parents actually go and stay at a party? Because most of them, they see free time, they bouncing, and we're using this party bus thing specifically. But if she just says it's at the house, which technically it is,
No, it's not.
I mean, they ain't going nowhere. The house is the bus is outside the house. It pulls up later, whenever. But
But
they ain't running the street.
you're talking about as far as the video, like we don't know if they went somewhere or not.
No, no, no. I threw that in. I'm just saying. So if she says it's
Oh,
at the
okay.
house and all they doing is walking out to this bus, so that when they get through, they can come right back. When you go there to drop the kid off, because most parents just drop the kids off. Like I said, they see it as free time. So how many parents do y'all really think go through the whole process of vetting kids? Because like we had a couple of events here. Kids were dropped off. Who do we really meet?
We had a couple events. Yeah, we them kids was older though. Them was like
Yeah,
teenagers,
yeah, but
older
no,
kids.
I'm
It's
just saying. But
different.
who do we really meet so that their parents didn't know that nothing wild was going on over here?
I ain't meet none of their parents, but yeah, because what the hell, Malachi's mom, we met her. I want to say as she was picking them up. So yeah, we didn't meet any of their parents. Yeah, Leah, that was it.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, how realistic is it for parents to do this? Because I'm looking at some of the comments, and we're gonna play the video in a second. Um, because I'm trying to give an excuse for some of the parents who just dropped them off for that, as you were talking about last week. And I ain't picking on you, but sometimes when, as a mother, especially if you're a single parent, you just need some relaxation time, and you see
Yeah,
that more
not
as
it
your
ain't, it ain't
time.
that serious.
Yeah, but a mother could see that as more time where she just got 2 hours where she don't have to be a mom. She can just take a nap, take that spa, do whatever it is. Um,
And it's really relaxed. You just drop your kids off with some people you don't know. You can't really relax. You concerned like, well, what are they doing? If you're a mom like me, and I worry about my kids. So, 8 years old, I couldn't do it. I can't just drop you off. I don't care how many times I heard the name. I need to meet these kids. I need to get a good feel for these parents. It don't take a whole bunch to see ratchetness. It don't.
so for those of y'all who ain't seen the video, and the video is just something special. I think Trina showed it to me first, and I put it out there because I wanted to see what the people were saying, and I saw some unique answers that I watched the video. I tried to find something positive. I got knocked for the positive thing I found because at first I was glad that at least there were no girls around. But when you watch the video, there's a little baby girl there with the mother's holding on her lap and she just clapping her hands and stuff. So there's a little girl around, but she ain't part of the party. So I'm gonna stick to that as my one saving grace. At least there were no girls there to add to this ratchetness. But I seen people saying, they just kids, they having fun. One lady said they could be doing the same thing in the backyard. And I'm just thinking, really? I guess they could, but 8 years old. 8 years old. My kids didn't know I listened to Tupac at 8 because I didn't like the edited version, so I never played it around them. Now, when they went to school, the house was off the chain. But at 2:30, we went back to being an Earth, Wind, and Fire Isaac Brothers kind of family.
Right.
Um,
Right. Our Kelly wasn't played around my kid. As much as I
right,
loved him, he had to wait.
right. It's just certain thing, my kids, they didn't even know I cursed until they turned teenagers because I never cursed around them. I just learned, to shut up. So I just want y'all to check out this video for a second. And just watch it. Yeah, because how long is it? About 2 minutes, Roy? Maybe 3?
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, go ahead and play the video right quick.
Birthday boy popping his first bottle. More bottles.
From a cellular, she was the only one that answered when I called her from that cell.
Cheers.
I'm the one that bought that bubble back. I'm the one that turned the city up. We the ones that put switch.
Giving vibes.
Put it in their face.
After you've lost count of drinks. Jigga train coming through. When everyone's favorite song comes on. Lil sister said don't count her out. I think everyone had way too much to drink. Time to go home. Happy birthday, son.
So, because both of y'all are way cooler than me, does anybody know what a Jigga Train is?
I don't know what a jigga train is. I just know that music altogether was a hell no for me. You know, Janai, I had her in this dancing thing I would take her to once a week. And when they had one of their performances, of course I'm a go. Oh, when I see my baby on that stage dancing the trap queen, that was it. That was the last time she went. You're not gonna have my 10-year-old up on this damn stage dancing to no damn trap queen. That was it for me. I started to say something, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even about to trip out because I know there's the people. It's just music, and we're not even about to have that argument. She just won't be here. She just won't come no more. You will not be getting my funds, and that's it. Mm-mm.
And Trina, D, let me jump in real
sorry.
quick on that one because I went and did when I was actually still in Athens. I got contracted to do a dance team competition, but it was the kind of teams that Trina talking about, and I was in there and I was watching this stuff, and I'm sitting up here like, you've got to be kidding me that this is the music that they had these kids dancing to and stuff. But I mean, it's like Trina said, we'll put it this way. It was a big high school gym that was actually probably bigger than some of the colleges that I work with even. So it probably had like, you probably could get about 3,000 people into the gym in the regular seats. Bruh, the gym was jam packed with people supporting it. So that mentality of this type of behavior is all right for not even teenage, preteens. That they letting, like she said, the only thing you can do is be like, yeah, okay, well you do you, I'm out. Ain't no point of complaining and fussing because apparently it's enough of them that want to do it. But I think that they don't get. I don't know if it's that they have this delusion that children do what you tell them to and not what they see you do.
Right.
But the fact that these kids jumping and hopping around to it like they had to see somebody else do it. They know exactly what's going on. And
you seen them? They were singing some of the songs. Huh?
Yeah.
Pop that pussy and all that. No, hell no.
Yeah, 10 years, 8 years old, I would have been out. My son would have been out. I'd have been like, dude, Let's go. Yeah, you can't hang out with little Jimmy no more.
Right.
One day it's
Exactly.
like, yeah, somebody telling them what to do. And I like, you know what? Me and Trina could sit here and we could tell Zuri right now, Zuri go twerk, and Zuri gonna like, what's a twerk? If we say turn up, she gonna be like, what's
Yep.
that? So I'm just trying to figure, and so just because Trina made me do this, Jigga Train is a song by Jamie Foxx. Okay, so I'm looking because I want to know what a Jigga Train is, because I know what Jigga theoretically is, but I want to know what this Jigga Train is. So I'm looking up the lyrics. I'm feeling kind of messy. Where them killers at? Straight to VIP. Where them flippers at? Boy, I'm a whole home wrecker. Remember that. I'm smelling myself. I know I'm all that. I'm looking for a thick something with a ball cat. I'm on cloud 9. Where is y'all at?
Nope.
I got a lot of niggas, some of them game bangers. I talk a lot of shit, but I don't take none. This is what you got your 8-year-old singing at a birthday party?
Right.
This is what
Crazy.
you got a bunch of 8-year. So cause they singing, we the only old people that don't know the words. So I'm just looking at this. My whip game done, my ice game sick. I got a lot of haters. Stay on a nigga dick.
Mm. Mm-mm.
I can honestly say, Janai is our oldest one who just left. She was 18 or 17, 18. And we can't control what they listen to, and I ain't foolish enough to think she ain't heard none of this, but she ain't singing none of this in front of us.
Mm-mm.
I I want to
And
know.
even when
I'm
she
looking at,
would, even when she, oh,
go ahead,
I was
baby.
gonna say that even when she was in her little ratchet music mode, she knows she turn it down low enough to where Zuri can't hear it. You can bang to it all you want to, but Zuri cannot listen to that. And when she was that age, she didn't listen to it. It ain't like I totally kept her from stuff, but I mean I don't listen to that, and I don't want that stuff like infecting her mentality. So when you get older, you can do what you do, but no, as a kid, little kid, no, 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 no. And I hate when
I'm
people say
listening.
we can't. I hate when people say, well, they're gonna listen to it anyway. You can't control. Yes, yes, you can. You can have a lot of control. Sorry. I was actually talking to my oldest daughter earlier today, and just talking about little stuff about how, you know, kids today and even people in their 20s, they'll get together at a party, but they all on their phones and stuff. And she was, talking about how she couldn't stand that because not only was she not interacting with the people, but as growing up, she didn't have a phone. And I don't care, you can say what you want about me, but my daughter knows how to actually interact with people. She knows how to pay attention to them when they're in her presence instead of just stare at her phone. So, yeah, if she don't have no phone, she can't be surfing the internet. If I go and I put certain blocks and checking her activity online, yeah, I get to monitor that. I don't know what y'all talking about, but yeah, you can monitor that. You can check what kind of music you play in front of them. You can listen to what they listening to, listen through the door, open the door, whatever you got to do, but you can control a lot of stuff. I don't know where y'all get this that you can't.
And more than anything else, you can control yourself. You can control what they see. Cause what does Zuri consider ratchet TV? Because she be like, she know I can't watch this ratchet TV because there's a monitor on it.
She call it track.
One of my
We call it
friends,
crack TV. Yeah.
yeah, correct. One of my friends, Mujahid, has only one TV in the house. They watch TV in the family room. He wants to know what his kids are watching. So even if he don't know what it is, he watches it with them so they can talk about it. So there's a lot that we control. Is that you again, Roy? Is that real?
That's a real one.
All right, let's go ahead and answer.
Go ahead, D.
Welcome to Random Thoughts. Welcome to Random Thoughts of DVP. How can I help you?
They gave me this number to call in.
Who is it?
It's Antoinette.
I was like,
Hi,
that voice so
Antoinette.
sound. What's up? What's up, troublemaker?
Listen, y'all talking my language tonight. I'm trying to tell you right now, I got something to say.
What you got
I
to
was
say?
doing karaoke with my baby, and everybody got told on.
What kind of karaoke was you doing, Miss Antoinette?
Listen, I do karaoke with my kids, my grandkids. We get the microphone, we get the YouTube, and we get on there and we sing our songs. And baby wanted to sing some song by some chick I ain't never heard of. And daddy was sitting there with his new girlfriend, because you know he getting a divorce. And everybody got told on that day. Everybody got a little piece of mama that day. When I heard what my baby wanted to sing with grandma for karaoke. It was crazy.
And she knew the words to it, didn't she?
She knew the words. Drop, drop. Oh, yeah. And there's a standard. I'm with you, girlfriend. I am with you. There is a standard. And yeah, you may hear this on the bus and at your friend's house, but there's a standard. You know what? You know when I knew we was in trouble? What is that commercial where the girl and the boyfriend is visiting the parents, and the boyfriend bring the mama flowers? It's a hearing commercial for a hearing aid. And then she, in front of her parents, asked the stupid boyfriend, "Did you bring some condoms?"
I remember that one.
Remember seeing that? I'm like, where in America are you going to bring your boyfriend to sleep in your mama house with your daddy there and ask him if he bought some condoms?
And the police don't show up.
Before 9 o'clock. I'm just saying, we going to hell in a handbasket. And we ain't by
and what's so
ourselves.
crazy? But we got people who are justified saying, "Oh, it's just a party. They could have been out drinking alcohol," and I hear all that. And if I'm looking for a super duper positive, okay, yeah, they ain't drinking alcohol. But at 8, this is what you're teaching them. So what are they gonna do at 10 years old? Because you're teaching them to be disrespectful to women. And I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but there's a little girl right there, and she's sitting in mommy lap, and she's just dancing. You passing this behavior on because, yeah, most of us are smart enough to be bad, but not in front of our parents. Ain't no way I'm promoting that behavior. My child ain't finna drink beer with me. I mean, I don't even drink beer. But when we have our first drink, you better be 17 and a half, and I'm gonna let you have a little sip. But we not finna drink together. I mean, it's like maybe because we old and we didn't come with that friend first mentality, and we weren't even raised with a friend first mentality. You know, me and Trina was talking one day about most of these, and right now I'm picking on women, but most of these girls who have babies, they looking for love, and when the babies start get past that 6 months old stage, then they want to be friends, and everybody want to be friends. So, I'd rather my children have sex in my house than be having sex at the hotel.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Listen, let me tell you something. My son, and you being liberal, my son had his first drink with me at 21, and yes, I paid for him, and he got drunk, and he was drunk. And we left Applebee's or TGI Fridays or whatever, wherever we was. And I know he had drink before then. But this, this was the legitimate, because the standard, don't you bring your tail home drunk. You got small brothers.
That's why you tip good. You getting folk drunk at Applebee's. How that happen? I ain't know Applebee's sold liquor. I ain't hanging out with you, Antoinette. Where you going?
No, but I was TGI Fridays. There was something over there. It's something over there at Duke University. I don't know. Wherever the cool kids go from Duke University, that's where we was.
And it's like, they could have been somewhere drinking alcohol, but they also could have been somewhere throwing around water balloons, running around, had nice water fights. They could have been doing lots of other things that are kid appropriate, age appropriate, and having a blast. How fun is it for kids that, come on now, them kids wasn't really having a bunch of fun. They was, trying to make the most of it because that's what they had, but that's not fun for an 8-year-old. My daughter would be bored as hell. Like, y'all got some games. Where the bounce house, where the kids stuff at? Popping
It's like they showing out for the parents. The mom want to be happy. Look at them. They done had too much. Look at how they acting. And Deb says, people say it's culture. We are strayed away from our culture of respect, decency, and age-appropriate behaviors. And this is a conversation me and Trina was having the other day. And, people want to say it's culture. People want to talk about we got slave syndrome. So how come we don't know how to farm? So why is it every habit we picked up was a ratchet habit? We didn't. I ain't never finna promote slavery, but when we were slavery, we knew about farming. How come that didn't cross over? Why did just the ratchet stuff cross over? And it's like we quick to make excuses so we can be not shit, and then we can blame somebody else. But we don't play the music, but you choose what station you listen to. I can't. What we listen to the radio at 8 o'clock in the morning for that Steve Harvey show. Then my radio is pretty much off. I got either we listen to the CDs or I got a thumb drive. I control what I'm listening to. I control, and it's like you get to control your atmosphere, but we give so much control away, and it's again you can blame other people. Once you, oh, I can't believe they playing that. But so when they playing a song on the radio, you can't change the radio station. You know, when I worked
Right,
in a
because it's
club,
like,
I had to
okay,
listen to whatever was played. I'm sorry, go ahead, babe.
I was just gonna say, okay, so you can't control what they play on the radio, but why don't you listen to country music? How come you don't listen to that? How come you don't listen to classical? How come you don't listen to jazz? How come these are not things that you listen to? Because that's what they're playing, so you gotta listen to it, right? You gotta listen to what they playing, but you only gotta listen to the ratchetness.
Yeah, because that's what
They're
they forcing us to
glorifying
do.
dysfunction. It's dysfunction to the highest height. And of course, the record companies are paying for the dysfunction, for them to feed our children dysfunction so they can accept being dysfunctional and not progressive. But
see, they don't
again,
get to
it's
feed
up
our
to
kids.
families to
We feed our
establish
kids.
standards.
Yeah,
It's up
they
to
don't.
the tribe. It's up to the community to establish the standard. There is a standard in grandma's house. Don't come over here with this foolishness. And yeah, you've been told on, so let me just remind you who is really in charge around here. Because you're not the adult, you're the passive big person. To let your child be exposed to this kind of thing and know this and want and not know enough to hide it from grandma.
Right. And even though we can't keep it from them forever, by the time they get to a certain age where they can just go and sneak off or whatever, you have already instilled decency in them by the time they're
That's
that
right.
age. I don't care what they
That's
playing
right.
on the radio. I
And
don't care what so the so-called white people feed into you. They don't get to feed my kids what I don't put on the table. So
right.
you can pass the food out, pass the plate all you want. My child ain't eating from it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that same kind of culture allows women like Monique was that she got on and she was talking about the woman at the airport in the pajamas and the bonnet, the women out in night clothes, at the grocery store in house dresses. And when my grandma had a house dress, she wore that dress every day. But when she went to the store, she put on her clothes, she put on her hard bottom shoes, and she combed her hair out. Got back home, rolled it back up. There is a standard that has to be addressed in our community, and we old heads, if we continue to allow our children to, what is the word? I want to use nice words. That was my New Year's resolution. I'm using nice words. If we want to let our children accept kinds of things, then they can accept them, but don't be bringing that crap around the mature people. Because it's not acceptable. There's a standard over here.
We let them run the house. Like I say, our daughter now is in the Army. She calling, and it's so funny because I listened to her, and she had a real issue, and you can tell she still knows she's talking to me or Trina. She still won't curse. I know she cursed. I overheard her cursing. But when she talking to us, she get the rambling, and she'll get the first. She might get the first consonant, and then she'll catch herself and say another word. And it's like,
right?
You know, you're a soldier now, but she still respect where she came from. And it's like we teaching this, and that's why I say to village or not, because there. I understand why some people hate a village, because now the whole thing is, when we were growing up, the threat was, I'm gonna tell your mama. Now the threat is, you better not say nothing to my kids. So what village can they get raised in when can't nobody say nothing to them? Because
and then if you
Trina's the youngest, but Trina couldn't say nothing. Trina couldn't talk back to no adult. When did that become okay?
Well, my son and my family know how I will probably meet my end, and that will be in public, where I have walked up to a young man and told him, yes, I see your drawers. Would you like to see mine? Or if I walk up to a girl who, I mean, we was in the grocery store. I promise you, guys, I promise you, that chick had her butt cheeks out. I mean, her butt cheeks were out, and she thought that was cute. You could not tell her nothing. And out of respect for my man, I did not say nothing to her. But if he had not been there, because he brought it to my attention, he pushed me, and I was like, what? And I was like, what? And he was like, and I was like, oh, my God. And she in the grocery store, and she loud and proud, booty, cheeks all out. If he had not been there, I would have brought her to the side and said, hey. Because I just can't. My spirit will not let me pass it by. And there's a way to address them. You can walk up to them, you can be nice, and you can be, how you doing? And let them know. But I cannot consciously be in public to see someone of my color and my culture, just degradation from the head to the toe. I just can't do it. I have to say something to them. And they can keep it up. And many a young man have. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Probably the first time they said yes, ma'am, all month. But the point of the matter is they know the standard, and you have to keep it in their face. And you have to be careful how you do it.
All right. I sure thank you. Don't go nowhere. But you keep listening, because I know you got something to say. Trina, what were you about to say?
I was just saying, some of these kids today, they'll curse you out. They don't have that same respect your elders teachings that we grew up with. I know plenty of kids that will curse you. Mine won't. She better not. Now that she's so-called grown, she might get a little bit mouthy, but no, ma'am, I do not play that mess. But yeah, these kids will curse you out now. They don't have that same level of respect that we were brought up on.
Deborah said she talked to a kid today who was sagging. She said, I'm going to sag mine. He told her she couldn't do it because that would be disrespectful as a female. And, just with other stuff, it's insane what the kids are doing, what the parents are allowing to happen. I mean, we've had two incidences, personal incidences. Well, something happened with Janai. And I told her to have the boy have his family call. And guess what? They called. And they were really apologetic and everything, which was a great thing. Because I really didn't think they was going to call. I thought I was going to have to go up there and make a scene. But they called. We squashed a little beef. And everything was cool. Then we had a second one. And it was more with Trina. Because we had a mother trying to convince us to let our daughter stay at a hotel for a prom. She was already there, and she wasn't there. I mean, this woman is just straight up lying to us. Oh, I'm going to be there. You're going to be where? Don't nobody know the hotel ain't got no room, but you telling us we should let our daughter stay at a hotel. Like, you going to be in a room with them? Oh, no, I got a room and they got a room. You have got to be. Man, I thought you were going to go through the phone.
And that one didn't matter to me because, like I said, I need to be around these kids. I need to be around. I need to see their mannerisms. I need to know these things. I don't know these for one. My daughter ain't staying at no hotel at 17. You can kiss my behind. That's not happening. I don't give a damn who there. Jesus could be in the bed with her. No, she ain't going to no hotel. So that was out anyway. But yeah, I don't know them like that. I mean, Janai was just telling me earlier today. She was like, I didn't get to go nowhere. I didn't spend a night. No. We don't play them kind of games. I done been in situations at family members' house, getting touched on and stuff like that. No. We don't trust folks. You can go to grandma's house where it's just you and grandma, and that's pretty much it. You can come home. My daughter didn't even go to daycare. I wouldn't. Yeah, my baby girl, I quit my job so I could stay home and take care of her. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my kids.
But just for that mom to try to act like that, like everything was okay, and she wasn't even there, I just thought that was just like the lowest of low. How you sitting there talking about, let our daughter stay there? Oh, I got this. You ain't got nothing. But where you at? Oh, you still in Douglas County. You gotta be. Man,
let's not forget
I ain't supposed to hit the woman,
her son.
But I would have choked her.
Her son had a baby at 12. Her son had a baby at 12.
And and that's why sometimes it's so scary trying to deal with a village, which is why I understand why we can't sometimes, because you got to be so, as my mom would say, persnickety, because you got to almost act bougie, but hey, it is what it is, because I've been a cop, and I've seen how people can get swayed in this stuff, and they with a group of people, and the next thing you know, their whole life messed up because they with the wrong group of people. I know there were some things that Janai would have loved for us to let her do, but it wasn't gonna happen. She wasn't gonna. It was gonna be some days she just wasn't gonna love us, and we was gonna be okay with that. That's it's just as simple as that. Some days you ain't gonna love your parents, and we okay with that. But this whole friendship thing, and I want them to have what I didn't have. This party bus, and it's funny, me and Trina talk. I've been on the party bus. She been on the party bus. What was your experience with? And you were way over 21, right?
Hated it. I hated it. Yeah, I was like 30 at the time. I hated it. Just claustrophobic. I just had to sit in the back and close my eyes until we got to where we. I hated it. It was horrible. It was horrible. Can't even stand up all the way.
And mine was, like I said, it's too tight. It's too crowded. God forbid somebody get on that pole, because then it's dangerous. But I'm like, a party bus is cool if everybody's sitting down and we going somewhere. But because then I might as well catch Greyhound. I didn't like it. But like I say, I know I'm an old man. Trina been hanging around old men, so she probably done picked up old man tendencies. But what's the whole point in it with 8-year-olds doing that kind of stuff? I mean, like one lady said she did the same thing, but her party bus had nothing but games in it. So then that ain't the same thing, Slick. You did it in the same type of vehicle, but it ain't the same thing.
Right.
That music talking about. Go ahead, babe.
I was just saying, at the end of the day, the bus itself is not the problem. It's the activity that's going on the bus.
Right. This whole bitch whole thing. Nah. No. That's just not. It's just, at 8, and they singing. Nah. I get so tired of hearing these little Disney songs now, cause Zuri be singing them. I think but she ain't singing radio stuff. Hell, I don't know what she gonna listen to the radio at. Zuri tell Google to play
Diana Ross.
Yeah. She listening to Diana Ross and she listening to yoga music. What's wrong with this child? I mean, it's better than the Shark thing, but she listening to different stuff. But that's because she's been exposed to it. And even with my mom, everybody in my generation, especially from the South, we hated Brother Esmond Patterson because that's what our mama got up listening to every Saturday and Sunday morning. That was clean up the house music. I hated Esmond Patterson. I hated him. As soon as he said, it's 6:30 with Brother Esmond Patterson, I knew what that meant. Go get that vacuum cleaner. I hated that dude. But that was what I listened to around her. I was 15 or 16 before I ever heard Millie Jackson. Oh, Millie Jackson she got a nasty mouth.
Yeah, she's something else.
Yeah, but I didn't know my mama didn't listen to anything other than Christian music because that's all I heard. Now, she probably was doing other stuff now, but that perpetuated itself. What's the problem with being better? What's the problem with being responsible? And it's like everybody want to just be turned up and have so much fun all the time. When somebody had said something to me when Trina first got here, it's like, yeah, you got your young, and I bet y'all be out in the streets all the time. But when I'm in the streets, it's because somebody paying me. Trina don't want to run the streets. Me and Trina both made plans to do stuff 9:30, 10 o'clock, and at 8:45 we realized maybe we'll do it next week. But and I'm thinking it's a good thing, and it sucks sometimes. I guess we like each other enough that we don't have to go somewhere to be entertained all the time, and we want to go out and hang out. We want to go out and hang out sometimes. But luckily, we've hung out at adult places. I ain't gonna say we ain't never heard no ratchet music, because sometimes we was in a ratchet kind of mood, but it was a mood. We went and came home.
And one of the things that bothers me when people just be like, oh, it's just music, it's just art. Like, listen, y'all need to stop saying that. For one, if you just hear it one time, yeah, it's just music, whatever. You're really paying attention to the beat more than anything. But repetitive, anything that you keep repeating and saying over and over, it gets embedded in your brain. Those become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. It's almost like a spell. It's like this music is it's like casting a spell on your kids. I know it sounds a little extreme, but if you think just a little bit deeper, you'd understand. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like, you know, they hear this music and then they want to act it out, you know, because your thoughts become your actions. So that's what they do. And it's like you do have to be mindful of what your kids are repeating over and over and over again. And that's all the song is. If they really love it, they're gonna listen to it on replay.
Right, because of all this pop, pop. Every time somebody say pop, pop, you see that action.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
And you know, and it sucks because I've had the argument on both sides when people want to bring cops into it, and it's like, why the cops so scared? I said, look at how we do shit. Why shouldn't they be scared? I said, you know, I try to defend us to the cops, but then I got to look at what we doing each other. Where if I beat Trina, why would a cop think I wouldn't beat him? If I'm threatening to kill Trina and the kids, why would a cop think I wouldn't do it? And that's all I'm singing about. That's all I'm singing about. So tell me, who in a good mind gonna walk up to somebody talking about killing people? Because especially if you ain't never heard this song, them lyrics I just read. If we didn't know that was a song and I was just down here saying it, Trina gonna look at me like, what's wrong with me? So what the heck? She gonna think something wrong with me, boy. What's on your mind? I'm like, oh, I'm singing a song. If you ain't never heard them songs, it sounds like you losing your mind. And this is what we do to each other. This is why, you know, our women feel less protected. This is why our girls are afraid now. This is why so many things are going wrong, because we see the wrongest of shit, and we want to justify before we try to correct it, because it's easier to justify than to try to correct it. And I was just saying, a couple of weeks ago, I forgot the rapper's name, but did you see the rapper who say his mama taught him how to French kiss? What in the hell?
Yeah.
His mother taught him how to French kiss. She came on and seconded it. Because once he got the backlash, he tried to downplay it. But his mama came on, she said, yeah, I had to teach him how to do it right. That's got to be
What does that mean though? Hold up. What does that mean? Does that mean he kissed her? Well, I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What we do
this made me mad.
Dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional. And when they realized that the general population wasn't really trying to accept that level of dysfunction, then they dialed it back. But that's just a little bit of what I'm trying to say. Like Snoop Dogg. You know, Snoop Dogg and all his friends, they created this culture. They got their money, and they pushed this culture. Now it's out of control. Who gonna fix it?
And clearly nobody, because, you know, and you don't even know this. Snoop Dogg is not on my, I like a couple of his songs, but he is on my black destruction list. He's one of them people that when he talk, I just speak out against him. When he threatened Gail, everybody, oh, you doing this? Anytime a man threaten a woman, Trina can tell you, it ain't got to be Trina. When I see it on Facebook, when a man threaten a woman, that's all it takes to unleash hell on my end. Because I don't care what she says. She got an opinion, even if she wrong as hell. To threaten her with physical harm because of an opinion, any dude that do that ain't shit. And they promote this, and you know, Snoop is a gangbanger. It don't take a whole lot for him to get something done just because of who he is. And you know, we want to get these people, oh, Snoop this, Snoop that. Man, y'all told it. I seen who he was. I seen who he was. Oh, my mama told me I should apologize. If it take your mama to tell you that you was wrong, then you 40, 50 years old. You're threatening women. You're threatening women for something that the woman who you claim was offended didn't even have anything to say about. And we promote this behavior because, oh, they on TV, so they made it big. I'm going to do it too. The same thing with all these reality shows. These women get on there and do ratchet shit. These dudes doing ratchet shit. And everybody think that's how I'm going to get to be big and famous. And remember they was going to do that show about being a slave. And they had over 30,000 people volunteer to be on the show, to be slaves, so they could know about the experience. There's no TV show that can give you that experience because they're going to be censored. No. But
right.
you got us lining up to do it. And it's like, is this really who we are? Is this really what the village is going to come down to? I can't be mad at people who don't want to be part of the village. I can't be mad at them. And But I'm mad at us for always trying to blame somebody when we promote this same crazy behavior, this same crazy over and over and over. Oh, you got to let kids be kids. Kids don't want to do this no more. What kids you talking about?
Right.
My wife we had a water balloon party, except for, let's see, my oldest son came. He was probably 28 at the time. Some of Janai friends came. They all 11th and 12th graders. And you couldn't have told me they weren't having fun.
We
Running,
have
falling,
fun.
getting dirty. What you mean? So they teenagers. You they,
And yep, even the little girls that was trying to be all cute came, primping and
they
get
was
their
cute for
makeup
2
on.
minutes, then they
Their
like,
makeup,
okay.
Their makeup was messed up by the end of that day. They had fun.
But it's like, when do you give in to them? Yeah, you can give them something for their birthday. You can't let them have a little fun. I think one year Trina took Janai, some of her friends go eat, and I stayed back because it's a girl event. I'm cool with that. Y'all go out there and do that. But why is the only semi excuse I would have went for, that I ain't going for, is that if the little boy had a terminal disease and was gonna die in 6 months, and that's what he wanted. Okay, I'm good with that, but why would he want that? The question still remains: how did he get to know about this party bus and this ratchet behavior? Because I guarantee you, if Trina calls Zuri there right now and says, "Zuri, turn it up," Zuri gonna probably look for a bottle to hold upside down if she know anything. She ain't gonna know
She
what
ain't gonna
that
look for a
means.
bottle. She gonna turn up what? Turn the TV up, Mom. The TV isn't on.
Yeah. You want me to turn the light up? What you want me to? You want me to turn the heat up?
You making me want to do that. I kind of want to do that right now. Like, Zuri, turn up.
Go ahead. She around. You know she like being on camera.
My door locked.
Oh, but
I gotta get up.
but don't worry about that. It's 7:15. But it's insane what we push and what we produce, and then we want to blame everybody. That's why I'm so tired of excuses of blaming the white man, blaming the government, blaming the police. This is shit that we push, and I would love to talk to the parents of those kids, because even if they weren't wholly complicit in it, them kids knew a lot. Now, there's a couple of kids like they were doing their James Brown impression and just mumbling. But them other kids knew about the drinking and all that other stuff. Where did they get this behavior from? They didn't learn all that on that bus. And so who's doing what? And this is part of when we building this village back up. Ladies, gentlemen, fellas, this is where you got to step up. If you don't want to be with your baby mama, I'm cool with that. This is about your children.
Never mind.
But
okay, hold up.
Unfortunately,
we got to do our experiment.
Y'all ain't. All right, so here go my little 8-year-old superstar, my YouTube sensation.
All right, boo, turn up.
What do you mean turn up?
Turn up, boo.
Like this?
No, you gotta turn up.
Like turn around. I don't know what TV turn up.
I'm sorry, baby.
Zuri, can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear Darren?
Zuri, can you hear me? Hey, sing something for me right quick. What's your favorite song?
Sing something. What's your favorite song, boo?
All I want for Christmas is you.
She said, "All I want for Christmas is you."
February, and she want to sing "All I Want for Christmas Is You." See.
That's it, boo.
All right, baby. Thank you.
She is beautiful, but let me tell you what parents think about when they put their children on video. They don't think about CPS, and with that, they really don't need any kind of evidence. I mean, it's all digital, looped on the internet.
Right, and then they're going to get upset with somebody when CPS come knocking on their door and show them that. But this ain't rehearsed. It's February the 9th, and my baby girl is singing she likes a Christmas song. She was singing it the other day when we was outside. I was like, why in the heck is she singing a Christmas song? But that's what she like listening to, what she like listen to. She don't know. Look at who her mom and dad is. We ain't been to church since they paid us. I'm sorry, don't be choking up though. I ain't paid the insurance premium yet. But it ain't like we I can't say we ain't great role models because I think we are great models. It ain't like we ain't got our faults, but one of our faults ain't gonna be being complicit in the destruction of our people, especially our circle. You know, it's just certain things that ain't gonna happen. And you know, I was telling Trina before, even at the church where I used to work at, you know, as I see little boys or young men, I'm always asking about their grades and stuff. And I got one. His dad is a deacon, but his dad came up to he said, "Man, I appreciate what you're doing for my son, because he always tell me you be asking for this, you be telling him he got to do this." And one day I'm quizzing about his grades, and another boy came up to me. He says, "Hey, sir, I'm going to college next year. Would you be my mentor too?" He said, "Don't nobody ever ask me questions like that." He said, "My mama don't ask me about my grades. She don't ask me nothing." He gave me his phone number. I said, "Hey, well, this is going to be the requirement." And it's something that you just got to reach out and do to people. Because we don't do this, and we see people who are slacking. We don't just pick up the slacking and move forward. Trina had a couple of girls at the church who were attached to her. She don't know. Do you know them girls' name?
Mm-mm.
But they come in. They want to gravitate to her and be around her. It's Trina's responsibility to show them non-ratchet behavior. It's Trina's responsibility to make sure they don't do ratchet stuff in front of her. And this is when we let kids be kids, we still control that narrative. We still control that narrative because we can control, when you're a responsible parent, a lot of what goes on in your house. You can't do nothing about them 8.5 hours there at school. But them 15 and a half day at home, you control that. We got locks on the TV so it won't play certain programs. She can cut the TV on, but she can't cut it on that because Trina got the remote. But we can block certain programs. Her TV will only get certain channels. I made sure of that. So sometimes if she want to watch something different, she gotta come in there and she'll look at Trina or she'll look at me. She say, "I love you," because she want to watch something that her TV won't get. And you know, I can deal with it right now because normally when they start telling you they love you, that mean they want some money. So yeah, we'll watch this little crazy show because I need to take a nap. But that's her whole life. And when did we not want kids to be kids? When did we want kids to be 30? When do we want kids to be 40? I'm 56. I'm 56. I ain't never turned up no bottle to drink out of it. And I've been to plenty parties. I done had a couple of birthday parties and got toe up from the floor up. I've been with my wife who we been out and she don't even remember shit. But she wasn't drinking from no bottle. She wasn't hunching on people and swinging off no poles and no shit like that. How did these kids get that? Who told them that was fun? Because
Right.
anybody who been drunk know it ain't.
How do they even know the significance of popping a bottle? Like, you know, what is popping a bottle? What does that mean to a child who has never been around it? You know, like pop it, like hit it, you know, like what does that mean? Popping bottles.
Zuri know how to do it. She know how to do the
Because
cheers thing.
I went to school. My friends, the people that I went to school with, they in college, the girls wouldn't even drink beer from a beer bottle.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to a bar and ask for a glass.
Yep.
Because to drink beer out of a beer bottle was considered tasteless. You know, a standard. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's just nobody. I don't even know how that got to be a thing. But when we went out and we were buying and they were buying beer. I don't drink beer, but can I have a glass, please, with my beer?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? But where did the whole standard drop? I mean, even with boys chasing girls, we pull hair. We might have tried to. The worst thing we did was try to get a little feel in the lunch line or something. But we didn't go around just groping girls and running up to them in front of people and hunching on them and telling them what we want to do because we didn't know what we wanted to do. Most of us was cool with pulling hair at 8. At 8. At 8, I had kissed a girl on the forehead twice. That was the extent of my sexual deviation. 8. I think I had my first girlfriend. Okay, I had my first girlfriend, Weasel. We never kissed. We shared cereal. We shared cereal. Sitting out shooting up dollars, talking about holes in my stacks. That is in front of an adult, claiming it's fun and filming it. And this is so saddening to me. And then people trying to justify talking about what they could be doing. Well, sometimes you give a prelude to what they're gonna be doing, cause they can have fun. I ain't gonna never knock it and say they can't have fun. And sometimes you can have reckless fun, just not at 8. You know what reckless fun is at 8? Instead of y'all going to bed at 10, I'm gonna let y'all stay up to 11:30. That's reckless fun. You know, I'm gonna let y'all go on and I'm gonna let you know what? You ain't gotta drink juice all day. You can have a soda tonight. Reckless fun. What Trina let Zuri light one of the what do you call them thing? Not firecracker. What's that thing? That's fun because she ain't got no business playing. She ain't got no business playing with lighters. But under our guidance and direction, she can go ahead and light one, and then put the lighter down. And she ain't trying to do nothing else. We can control that. We can control that. And it's insane that parents don't want to parent. They want to be friends, or they want to be the first on the block. Look at how wild my kid is. Look at how this. And other people see this. Other people see this. And your kid gotta figure out what he can do now, because he know mama like this behavior. So what can I do that's just a little bit wilder? You know what they do then? They do like the little boy up in wherever he is. They take a gun to school to show off and start shooting people. Cause daddy bought him a gun. How was that little boy? 16? Trina?
What little boy? What little boy? I don't know what you're talking about.
The little white boy who his daddy bought him a gun and they gave
him to school with the gun.
Yeah.
The father and the mother in jail.
Oh, 15. He was 15.
15.
Yeah.
15. Why does a 15-year-old need a handgun?
Those parents are where they need to be. And I bet if you had told them this 9 months ago, if you go out and if one of their friends had pulled them to the side and said, you know what, you need to address this thing, send him to therapy, make sure he sees a psychiatrist, or if this is going to happen, you're going to buy him a gun, he's going to go shoot up all these kids, and then you're going to be in jail, you're going to lose your job, your house, everything is gone, and you're going to go down for your son killing people. If somebody had told him that 9 months ago, you know, it would have been a street fight.
No. Did you hear some of the testimony that came out about them? And see, that's why it ain't just black people. The lady, one of her coworkers said, we never even knew she had a child. We knew she had 3 horses. She never talked about a son. She talked about her horses all the time. The one lady said, yeah, she told me her son was going to end up making her lose her job.
Which means he was bad. He had some kind of behavioral issue.
Right. But she didn't know how old the son was. She said that's the only time lady ever brought up her son. Like I said, 3 of her coworkers, they knew about her horses. Not about that she had a kid. Not about that they was buying guns and stuff. So this was just stuff they was doing for no reason. And again, what's the purpose of him having a gun living in the city? The school wasn't violent. They don't live in a violent neighborhood. I understand country people, especially children, learn how to shoot shotguns early because they hunt. They learn how to shoot shotguns early because they hunt. But a handgun and all them bullets for a 15-year-old. But this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. We're getting in their own and then claiming it ain't theirs. He posts on Instagram. Ain't nothing stop a kid from getting a burner account or a fake account or whatever. But Trina had a daughter. And Trina could see everything her daughter was posting.
Well, now, you know that's invasion of privacy. You know we have to respect our children's privacy. That's what they said.
I don't respect. Hey, what's the rule? Trina, you got to be paying the bill. The more you pay, the more votes you get. Kids don't pay no bill. They don't get no vote. Every now and then they
I
can get an
respect your
opinion.
privacy as far as like you when you get naked and stuff like that. I won't, but shoot, with my daughters, whatever, girl, I'm your mom. Yeah, I done seen it all before anyway, so I'm still coming in. But that's about the extent of the
Right.
privacy that you get respected.
Yeah, I'm a knock, but and it's insane. What's up, mindless chaos? But yeah, this whole thing, and as much as I hate to side with them, I understand why some guys now don't want to date women with kids, because you got to do a whole lot more vetting to see what they like. Because even though I did it, I love women with kids, and let me clarify that I love women with good kids. I was crazy about Trina, but Trina tell you, before we seal the deal, I said I need to spend time with your kids, because I hear how y'all are over the phone. I need to see how they are for real before we're gonna do all this, because that is a true determining factor. Because if Trina would have been a good woman in the streets but ratchet mama, then I would have had to look at her different. And I see how some of these people raising their kids. I remember a girl who her daughter would call her mom by her first name. I don't call my mom by her first name unless I'm playing and on the telephone. I ain't finna do it on her face. No,
And you
I'm
ready to
56.
talk after you do that too.
Yeah, but I mean, we already in full play mode when I call her by her name. And I'll
Yep.
call her by her whole name when she in trouble. Or I'll say Trina called you by your whole name, but I'm not finna do it, and I'm a boss. But I ain't stupid.
Right.
I
I
ain't
can't play with my
stupid.
mom and call her by her name either. I did it once a couple weeks ago, and she stopped. She was like, you the only one that can do that. But we was in joke mode, like you said. But no, you cannot. No,
Right.
don't call Vicky by her name. Not as her child.
I call about her I don't want to be bothered name all the time, which was Mary Monroe. I say that name all the time. But her real name, her government name, oh, you ain't finna get me to say it. It's like, what's her name? Her name Mama. She'll tell you if she want to be called something else, but I call her Mama. That's what I know her as. I'm too old to be going to a corner. I'm too old for that. B said not everyone has paternal and maternal instincts, and no one investigates whether or not they have those traits before having kids or getting involved. And
You
I
can't.
can't say
Yeah.
because sometimes you don't know till you have them. I
Yeah.
would have never. I love women with kids. I'm a good bonus dad. I never thought I would be a great dad or even a good dad. And you just don't know. But when you have a child, for me, when I had them, it changed a lot. I dropped a lot of my hostilities. I dropped a lot of my impatience. So you don't know sometimes until you get them. You don't never know who's gonna value what until it happens. Because how do you
I
train a
really
parent?
agree with that a little bit. I
You did what
disagree
now?
with that because I feel like you should have some kind of idea of what this person's social structure or emotional structure or her what is the word? You should have some idea about how they conduct themselves and what they will go for and what they won't go for. That's an indication people really just don't take time to become acquainted.
But
You have to
we got so
become
many people
acquainted.
who can act.
While
We
you're
got lots of
sleeping
people
with
who
a
can
stranger,
act.
you might as well. I mean, you paying a hookup if you're not acquainted.
But you don't know. I mean, how many mothers how many mothers have had kids with guys who swore they was gonna be all this and played the role until after the fact. You don't know how people gonna change or what they gonna stay true to. You know what they say? What makes a diamond? Pressure. When you start putting pressure on people, they ain't the same. And until that, one of the things that me and Trinity always talked about is I ain't never been in a serious relationship with nobody that we ain't had stress. Because I need to know what you're going to act like under stress. When things is good, oh yeah, everybody love everybody. But let's see how we act when we should break up. Let's see how we act after when we go into a fight. That's the only time you can really test what somebody's resolve is like. Because other than that, you getting them on good terms. On good terms, we like everybody. But what they say, need rent money, and then you'll
Still
find out
not
who your
there.
friends are.
I'm still
Yeah,
not there with you because what people need to understand is that when you get to a point of procreativity, you need to have some idea of their family dynamic. I mean, if like I said, getting to know people, know who they know, their friends, their relatives. You need to meet their mama. You need to meet their aunties and uncles before you start knocking up and exchanging bodily fluids to that degree. I'm just saying, there needs to be a standard to social interaction. There needs to be
So let me tell
boundaries
you.
and levels.
So let me tell
I
you,
mean,
Antoinette.
there's no standard, there's no boundaries. Everything is it's a toss up. And I hear what you're saying. You really don't know how a person is going to act until the pressure hits. But you can still have an inclination by simply examining their family dynamic and their interaction with their social structure and how they handle their business is a clue.
You can convince yourself that you know what they might act like based on their social structure. Let me tell you, my oldest daughter comes from a family. Father, mother was married. They ended up where they were raised primarily by the dad because the mom went to the army. So she was an army mom, but she was still a decent mom for when she was home. He raised 6 kids by himself. Great dad, great man. He was a deacon in the church. The church was his brother's church, which was his father's church. So this is church going family. I mean, the good family, good family. He turned out to be a piece of crap as a dad. So looking at his family, I'm into a good family. My daughter gonna be good. Fooled me. You don't know it. It's no different from if a guy has a good relationship with his mom, he's gonna be good to you. BS. That is not the standard. That's not always going to be the case. There's guys who have crappy relationships with their moms and still can be a good man to you, and vice versa. Have a great relationship with their mom and be a piece of crap to you. So you really can't judge people by their family dynamics. You convince yourself that this is how this person is going to be because they come from this tree, but sometimes we all know that apple fall far from that tree.
Yeah, I mean, look at and personal example. Look at Brian Nichols. I saw his family. He came from money. They would have never. There was nothing in his life that indicated he was a killer. Nothing. Even if Trina would looked at me, if she looked at my family dynamics, she wouldn't be with me. Everybody on one side of, I was the first of my kind not to go to prison. Knowing that all the men on the other side of the family have been in prison, why would she come to me? Why would she be with me? So you can't always look at that because some people, just because they come from something, they work hard to get out of that. And like that's what I say, you really don't know to stress it. You don't know. Most women tell you they ain't never been hit until they all in. Dudes don't fight girls when they live apart. Dudes become violent once they cohabitating and they got control. Because this whole role playing thing has been, they've learned, guys are learning to be predatory. Kids learn to get away with stuff. Everybody has a little bit of fraud in them, and they use it for survival or they use it to get ahead. So it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Even as Dub say about past relationships, women have been in abusive relationships sometimes because they don't pay a lot of attention or they don't wait out the thing. Does that mean that that's what they're gonna always do? It's a tough set. Like I said, for me, in my experiences, you got to wait till that storm comes and see how they handle that storm. Are they the storm, or do they go into survival mode, or do they go into predatory mode? And you because man, we talk about these representatives all the time. Some of these representatives are full time until they Steve Harvey until they get benefits. Once the benefits come in, they fire the representative and the two of them show up. And you see guys unhappy in relationships. Oh, I got tricked when we was dating. You did all this and this and this. Women say the same thing. Dudes do, like I said, most women who have had a child, the baby daddy gave them the same lie. And there was nothing to say that he was lying. He didn't have all these guys, as much as guys love to whine, all these guys don't come with 6 babies. Some of these guys, they never had a child before. They 30, they 40, they say the right thing to the woman. She thinks she the one. He said everything she need to hear. I ain't never want to have a baby with a woman before because they just wasn't this or I wasn't that. But you gonna be the one. Then after she get pregnant, the baby 6 months old, now she a tramp and a slut. Now he out. And you just can't tell sometimes because you don't know what happened at 8 that's going to kick back in. Then at 9, at 10, because this is what they're constantly being shown, that Nick Cannon can have as many babies as he wants to as long as he got money. Destroying one family at a time. Destroying one family at a time. Because which one of these kids is going to get his affection? The mama's going to get the money. Nick, what? 4 babies in a year? I'm sorry, 4 pregnancies in a year?
Something like that.
Is that about right, Trina?
Something like that. I know he had a 5-month-old. Well, I don't know if I know the baby died at 5 months, but there was a 7-month-old, a 13-month-old. You know, like, just too close together. Clearly, these ain't none of these his women. He's just sleeping and creeping, making babies and moving on.
And want to have more. So they doing it for the money. I don't care what nobody say. That's my opinion. I'm gonna stick with it. But what are these kids gonna have? What are they gonna have? And we talked about it last week. Kids need presence over presents. All he giving up is money. All he doing is making other people financially secure, but he destroying these babies. He just had a baby die, and he finna have another baby. So who's there with this mother while she's mourning and grieving? They got to get other women pregnant and want to get some more pregnant. That ain't his concern. So we're going to blame her for the broken home because she did it for the money, as opposed to blaming him and his standards. Yeah, these women deserve some blame in this. I ain't even finna swear and sit here and say they ain't. Because I believe if you tell quite a few women that they could get $8,000-$9,000 a month for having a baby, they're going to go for it. Not $9,000 a month for a baby is a nice little come up. I'm not finna sit here and act like it ain't. But his issues perpetuate the myth about black men that all we want to do is impregnate women and leave. Because guess what? Some other boys going to want to do that without his finances. Because Nick did it. And we sitting around, they joking, they laughing about it. Some dude just sent him a candy machine full of condoms. He famous. He got a show. He had Mariah Carey. Look at all them bonuses he got. But what is he doing? He's tearing down the families. And if we look at it for what it really is, all these are black babies that he's leaving behind. All these are black babies he's leaving behind.
Right. Even though the mamas ain't black.
Why not? He black.
Yep. But I'm saying the mamas ain't black, but he is. So like you said, when we were talking before, he ain't even taking the time to make sure that he presents a come up situation for black women. He doing it for the others. He helping them get financially stable and putting them in a good position. But you know, the black women, yeah, maybe he ain't attracted to us, whatever. That's whatever. But damn.
Yeah, so ain't no black woman worth what is it, $108,000 a year? So you know, subliminally he sends a message devaluing them, and this is the society we live in now, where we applaud him for that. Nick Cannon, to this guy, should be right below Joe Rogan with being drugged on a regular basis for his reckless behavior and his destroying families. That's just that insane. But I can't sit back.
Joe Rogan destroy?
No, I'm saying he should be drugged for his behavior. You know, everybody drugged. So that's what I'm saying. Right. We shouldn't just he should be drugged too. But he providing them something that, you know, but they gonna end up missing something. And this is how you get kids who become dysfunctional. Because when they just think about this long term, these kids gonna grow up. God bless, you know, God willing, they're gonna grow up to be teenagers. All these kids gonna be 15, 16, 17 at the same time. And all these kids gonna have to listen to how their daddy was a rolling stone about all these women that was bouncing. Now they're gonna have a little money, but they're gonna keep getting ridiculed by all these other students talking about what their daddy was. So now they gotta learn how to fight. Now they're gonna need to go see Dr. Dale because they're gonna need some counseling. Cause remember we saw the little thing about the little boy who was embarrassed cause his mama was doing twerking videos and everybody was seeing it and he ended up fighting. What you think all these kids gonna be like? Yeah, you got all these brothers and sisters. He ain't even like your mama. He just used your mama and paid her. What do we call when what do we call when who get paid for having sex? Mothers? Nope. So now when these kids start saying that the mama's a prostitute or a hoe, what's gonna happen? See, this little stuff come with consequences. This come with consequences, and people laugh and joke about it now because they're babies. But what happens when they start growing up? Kids don't grow up mature, so now they gotta fight everybody because their daddy was a hoe, and now their mama got these names. And yeah, we're gonna say, well, it's the women's fault. They knew. And Trina said all the time, a man ain't got no control over the woman having a baby, but what he does have control over is what he got control over, Trina?
He is 100% responsible and has control over where he puts his seed.
100%. 100%. But these are the type of things that are pervasive in our society and will go unchecked. Because ain't nobody calling him a bad guy. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody. Ain't many calling him out for this behavior. Right now, it's all cute. How many kids LeBron James got? I think he got 2. How many did Barack Obama have? He had 2. And so,
if they had 20, it wouldn't matter because they got them with that one woman. They don't got them spread all over the country.
Right, but I'm saying we got role models who showing us the right way to do it. But we don't hype them. We don't hype them. We hype this crazy behavior and then wonder why we are like we are. We wonder. And that's why, when it comes to this village, as much as I think we should get back to it, who want to be a part of some of these villages? If that's the only choice you got, then we're going to stay in the house. Post-COVID, we don't want to be part of the village that's out there. I would be, man, if my daughter sent me a video like the one we seen saying that's the party she was at, I would be so effing hot. So hot.
Understatement.
Hey, I'm trying to be politically correct. As Anthony, I'm trying to say the right word.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him mad like I seen him mad.
You ain't, hush your mouth. Hush your mouth.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. When you commit to saying nice words, it's hard because you have to catch yourself. You have to catch yourself.
Trina Roberts speaking to you again. Quit talking to my woman. But yeah,
I like
and yeah, you gonna like him when I dragging him down the street. But yeah, we got to do better. We got to start presenting better role models. Not only do we have to start presenting better role models, we got to be better role models and take control of our kids. Yeah, you can't control everything that happen, but that's where conversations come in. Talk about some of the things that go on. One of the things that we talk about with Janai, who's in the military now, she's still calling. She called and talked to Trina about some stuff. And there's been a couple times she called me about stuff. She and Trina like, I ain't know she called you. And I'm thinking, shit, I thought you told her to call me. She will still talk to us. She ain't scared to share information with us. She ain't scared to talk to us. And she still knows who's in charge. And she's an adult now. But she still comes to us like our child when she needs insight, but she got questions.
I had to check her last time. I think she forgot for a minute, but yeah, she back on track.
Yeah, but every now, yeah, we all backslide every now and then, and you need to give them a quick 1-2. But but the fact that she still called, she's in the military now. She's in a whole nother state, whole nother time zone. But when something go wrong, we still one of the first 2 people she called. So we ain't done too bad. So it's 7:48. I got my glasses on, looking all educated. I'm keeping Trina woke. Clearly, she's still asleep. I don't know what that's about. So what we gonna do is, Miss Antoinette, you still there? Or did you leave
I
me?
am.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you for calling, because we finna get ready. We finna get ready to go on and end this. So I want to thank you for calling. But go on and watch the video and leave a comment. Did you leave a? Because I don't know if I saw it, because I started to tag you on. I know you had something to say.
It disturbed my spirit, and I'm trying to be wholesome. I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to be cleansed in positivity. And that stuff was just so negative. I was trying to figure out who had knocked you upside the back of the head when you got control of that. I was wondering what in the world was going on. 'Cause I did come in after you started rolling. So,
Because
yeah.
I just couldn't believe that
I can't
somebody
watch
did that.
I don't agree.
But yeah, I want to thank you for hanging with me for a couple of hours, because I know you got other stuff to do. You still got that whole cleansing thing going on. So thank you, and we will see you next week. I want to thank the beautiful Trina Marie for coming in and joining me and staying woke, because she showed y'all she go yawning again. So I'm gonna let her go to sleep. Trina Marie, you got any parting words you want to say? That shows a purdy cup you're drinking out of.
Ain't it? That's my little, I don't even know which way to turn it. This camera acting crazy. My little thing to bedazzled cup that I made. Yeah, you can get yours if you want some from me. I can go up to thing 20. So if you got like 20 things that you want to give some little party favors to or whatever, I'm your girl. Hit me up. But no,
Oh,
I
so you
don't.
might
I
as well
don't
start
really
making
have
something for
any.
Nick Cannon.
You probably need
And
20
if you
things.
want, if you want to look for her stuff, go to Little Things by Khalil. She got some bath bombs and some all kind of good stuff going on. Roy, you want to tell them anything about my JBN before I do my thing?
Actually, next week we'll have probably some new ads that we're going to be running. We've got our comic book convention coming up this July. The Urban Nerd Con is featuring black comic book creators and characters. We're going to be down in Montgomery. It's going to be the bomb. We got some real tight people coming, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, that's what's up. And of course, I'm your host, DVP. And this is Random Thoughts with DVP, where we like to have uncomfortable conversations, and we want to talk more about the issues and not just topics. So if you got something you want to talk about, shoot me an inbox, shoot Trina or inbox, Roy, whoever, and we'll do some research on it. We'll come back and talk about it and tell you what we think and how we can get about fixing it. So in closing, to fix these situations like we saw at that party bus, we got to do a better job of uplifting each other and holding each other accountable. Now, you can't make somebody do right, but when they're doing wrong, you gotta address them and see what their mindset is. Some people have done wrong and didn't really know they were doing wrong. I'm sure most of us have done that at some point. But the point is to have a good enough circle or village that when you're there, somebody checks you and corrects you, or at least lets you see the error of your ways. Because you can't never get better if you don't accept responsibility for bad decisions, whether they were that at the time. Because sometimes we just don't know, or sometimes we get so inundated with crazy behavior we don't know that it's not normal. Trina, she used to always say she wasn't used to certain things I was doing because she didn't know that was a norm, because that wasn't when she around. So you can't blame her for that. There were certain things I didn't know. You can't blame me for not knowing. But when somebody tell you, now I know. And what does G.I. Joe say? Knowing is half the battle. So don't be afraid to speak out and just have a conversation with people. Don't attack them. Look at her, she's showing off leg. Oh yeah, I got to go now. You see them pretty legs she got showing up there?
I
All
give
right.
him a little bony knees.
Whatever. So again, I want to thank y'all for spending time with me and the beautiful Trina Marie. So until next time, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.